Elvis the Alibi Beachler was born in the heart of Fremont and raised on the cold streets. Alibi's life was littered with struggle. We begin our story on February 16, 2001. The Alibi is born and a legend is created. The Alibi's young life and his relationship with his loving mother attributed to his success today. In school, the Alibi was not well liked and even got into many fights.
You guys probably know, was bullied in high school. Kids just thought they had power over me, and I was a scrawny little kid back in high school. I could never fight back to them, so I thought maybe if I came up with this new art form, I could express that, you guys aren't better than me. I feel like mumble rap was just a good way of expressing that.
Things were looking down for Alibi, that is, until he found music.
I had never heard music until I was watching the television one day, and this guy came on TV. His name was Lil Coochie, and he inspired me to follow my passion with music. And I didn't want to be a carbon copy of him, so I thought maybe I could create something unique. That's where mumble rap comes into play.
For Alibi, music was an outlet to all his frustrations. He created his own music outside of school and started dipping into lyrics. Alibi's favorite works of his own quickly became his raps. Gaining fame around his community and a small following, slowly Alibi's recognition grabbed the attention of acclaimed producer Dean Clark.
Well, see, when I found Alibi, his parents had just kicked him out of the house, so he was living outside of their house, like on the porch.
Yeah.
And he was just like, excuse me, he had blankets set up like on the swing on the porch, and when I had found him, he was actually sleeping, but he was spitting bars in his sleep. And I was walking by, and I heard the bars that were being spit, and I said to myself, wow, that's really good. I mean, to have such a passion for the craft that you literally do it in your sleep, that's unheard of.
Man, Dean is a brother, dude. I remember when I first met him, I was like, I always made Clark Kent jokes, because he is like a Superman. He saved me from, just like I was living such a hard life back in Fremont before all the music and stuff. I was just strong. My family was poor, and Dean just he opened the door. He saw the potential, and he opened the door for me, and I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for the opportunities he's given me.
Under the direction of Dean, Alibi flourished into the amazing artist he is today, having over 40 albums, 5 of which are Grammy winners.
Well, honestly, we were both stunned when he got nominated for Artist of the Year. And the fact that he actually won was just incredible. I mean, his rise to fame has only taken place about over the span of like 1.5 years at this point, but he's been grinding every day in the studio. So I think the award is definitely well deserved, and I think he's got more coming in the future. He also won the Grammy for sound production. So that was insane too, because if you listen to the album, he's got the reason it's actually called Dinner Plate is because a lot of the instrumentation is just taken from dinner plates. We were just in the studio smashing fine china, and we interpolated it into the tracks. We wanted to just do something different, Really, we just, when we were in the studio, the Alibi looked at me and he said, "This is gonna be better than Queen. This is gonna be bigger than Bohemian Rhapsody." And look how fast Peanut Butter Jelly is rising on the charts. I mean, we literally were in the studio smacking ourselves with peanut butter and jelly, and we put it on.
You sampled that?
Yeah, I took a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, just one side of it, and I slapped it against his chest, his naked chest, as hard as I could. That's how we got the snare on that track.
Having such a successful music career has not had its shortcomings. Alibi, for a short period known as the Dark Era, fell into a world of drug abuse and self-deprecation, leading to much darker music.
You know, I just think that's a big problem with this generation in general. I kind of had a feeling that Alibi might have gotten a little bit in over his head when he began to pop Pez. You know,
Yeah.
he started taking those little Pez dispenser things, and he would just pop them one after another, and I started to see kind of a problem happening because he would be on a constant sugar high in the studio, and I knew it was going to develop into something more.
Yeah.
So, the Percocets happened, and for a while I was pretty disappointed with him because, I didn't want to see him throwing all that potential away, that unlimited potential that I talked about. I didn't want to just see him throwing that all away. So luckily, I convinced him to go to rehab, and we got that situation straightened out. But it was scary for a while.
I know I kind of let the fame get to my head, and should have realized this. But with the passing of my brother Coochie, and I don't know, I was just in a dark place, and I was very, very rude. I didn't let anyone know, and I don't know. It's a touchy aspect. I don't really want to.
Getting into movies is what saved Alibi's life. He began appearing in smaller films, and the appreciation for him from his fans was astounding. He knew he had to be better. Alibi, starring in more than 20 pictures thus far, has shown up in hits such as Star Wars, Alien, and Avengers Endgame.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and I'm forever grateful. Not everyone gets this opportunity, but funny thing is with the Star Wars titles, I did get a lot of hate.
Yeah.
Especially from original trilogy fans. Man, but at the end of the day, I would not change a thing. I'm so proud.
Today, Alibi is doing what he loves and has no plans to stop. He left me with this quote: "When you love what you do, people will love you too."
Alibi is a story of unlimited potential, and I think that everybody can learn something from the Alibi.